welcome to my Tarot Corner. So this reading is going to try and shed light on quite a dark issue, and it concerns Sarah Ferguson and her connection to all sorts of men that could be, let's say, with unique kind of taste. And we're talking, of course, about her husband, but it's not only her husband. Lately, her name was tied to a billionaire named Trammell Crow, who is 72 years old, and he is being sued by two women who claim to be victims of him or of a ring that he financed. And I'm not going to enter into too much of the details. And those of you who want to check exactly what we're talking about, it's something that is very much like what the Royal Grift calls sleazy ease, way of dealing with girls. And actually, Sarah herself received money from Sleazy he himself when she was in a very difficult place, when she was in bankruptcy, when she owed $5 million. She needed a quick loan. She received that from Sleazy E. So she's been roaming around with men with peculiar tastes, and probably before she even married Prince Andrew, because her father, Ronald Ferguson, who used to be the polo trainer of Prince Charles when he was a prince, before Prince of Wales, himself had to quit his job because it came out that he was in a massage parlor that hosted young girls as well. So it looks like Sarah has this attraction to men with unique tastes, and probably something that started before she even grew up, something that even started when she was a child. Maybe she was even, I don't know, maybe she was harmed by her own father, maybe, I don't know. And then since the pandemic, she herself started a YouTube channel in which she started reading children's book to children, and people started thinking that maybe she was virtue signaling to people who have the same taste as Sleazy E and those men, or maybe she was trying to make connections between men like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and be very, very careful. I'm using, this is a Spanish tarot decks. Now the Spanish tarot decks are smaller than the usual ones, and I'm using tarot decks that are, their meanings are full of light. This is the Tarot de Luz, and in Spanish it means Tarot of Light, and I'm using the Work Your Light Oracle, so I want to shed light into this issue. And when you see the artwork of this deck, it's kind of like a children's book. So this can also help us go to the bottom of this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask questions, and I'm going to ask the universe to align the cards in order to help me find the answers. So it's going to be partly a gypsy kind of reading, and I'm going to, for every question, I'm going to take 3 cards and try to see the energies around that question. So I'm going to start with, first of all, my disclaimer. So this is a tarot reading. It is vibrational. It is open to interpretation. It exists as assumptions and speculation, and as such, may or may not be true. So please do your own research and decide for yourselves. Okay, so let's clear the deck. So let's start with Sarah's relationship with her father. So please align the cards in the correct way to give me information about Sarah Ferguson's relationship with her father. Please align the cards in the correct way to give me information regarding Sarah Ferguson's relationship with her father. So in gypsy readings, I'm only cutting once, and I'm now taking 3 cards, and let's see what are the energies. Okay, so let's start. So we're getting the 7 of Cups, the 2 of Cups, and the Prince of Cups, the Knave of Cups. So first of all, this is a very emotional reading, a lot, only cups. So the 7 of Cups, that is a card of fantasies, that is a card of dreams, dreams that can become a reality, dreams that need to become a reality. But if you can see that this card is all moon. And we're talking about her father, but we see her mother here. Now, I remember hearing that Sarah didn't have a good relationship with her mother. So probably her father was more present in her life than her mother. He had probably a better relationship with her than her mother. I understand that she was, for him, she was very defensive of him when he got in trouble. As you can see here, we have the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cups. And here we have this kind of heart. So it is about emotions, but the moon is very prominent here. And this tells me that for Sarah, her mother was absent in her life. She wanted her mother. Her father was a substitute. And there were a lot of fantasies here. And then we are seeing the 2 of Cups. And the 2 of Cups is a card that speaks about the need to be active, the need to be the one who is taking control over a situation, the one who is being the courter, the one who courts the other one, the one who is the suitor, not waiting to be courted. But just look, and as I told you in the gypsy readings, I'm looking more at the artwork and the way that the artwork is seen. As you can look at this little girl, she's all heart. Her body is almost invisible, and the heart has all of those rays here. And she doesn't look very happy, and it looks like a girl that is being controlled by her need for love. The 2 cups here are coming are she's holding the two cups in her hands because she is craving this love, she's craving emotions. She is, and there is this snake around her feet, and this snake here is, this gives me a very eerie feeling of someone who is there, looming, thinking about how he can harm her. She doesn't look like a girl that is happy and feeling great. She seems like a girl that would do anything for someone that will give her some love. And it's funny that her foot is entangled with this snake, when we remember what happened to her with her toes. So she has some kind of sensitivity in her feet. But this is a card that shows that her relationship with her father were in a way a substitute to her mother, and he was controlling her because of her need for love. And the Page of Cups is a card of someone who really needs mental health therapy. And you can see that he has this arrow in his heart. This is a person that is really damaged, a person that has been damaged by whatever he went through his in his life, a person that wasn't that has a lot of problems. So I can tell you that by these cards that her relationship with her father was she developed this kind of dependency in her father. She needed love, she wanted love. Part of the reason why she is attracted to men who are problematic is because she has no discrimination as to the men she's attracted to, because she is too naive. She believes everyone who would give her this even small promise of love. She is thirsty for love. She's really in a very she's not a very healthy person mentally. Okay, so that was the first question. Now the second question is, did she know about the billionaire Trammell Crow and his entanglement with those rings that he financed? So did she know about his special activities? Actually, maybe I should ask first about Prince Andrew. So you know what? Let's start chronologically. So, did Fergie, Sarah knew anything about Prince Andrew's attraction to these kinds of activities? So let's start by clearing the deck. And let's start by asking the universe to align the cards. Please align the cards in the right way to answer my question regarding whether Sarah knew about Prince Andrew's special or weird activities with Sleazy E. Did Sarah Ferguson know about Prince Andrew's alleged activities with Sleazy's E? Was she aware of those? Please align the cards the correct way to answer this question. What did she know? What did she think about it? If she did know, did she know anything about it? If it did happen. So what did Sarah know about Prince Andrew's alleged activities with sleazy's E? Okay, so I'm cutting once, taking 3 cards. So the 3 cards we're getting is the Fool, the Page of Swords, and the 10 of Wands. So first of all, the Fool is a card of someone who values is freedom, sometimes even to a place where she's being reckless and does things without even thinking, even burning bridges behind her. But in this special question, it is a person that can maybe have a blind eye, and that is why we see here this girl that is standing here, and there is this eye behind her because she doesn't want to see that she's standing on this cliff. She doesn't want to see the danger. So it's like she is turning her head to this very open eye that doesn't want to look at the ravine that is here. So the cat is trying to warn her. She doesn't want to listen. She has this very stubborn look on her face, and this eye here is very, very telling, because this is the eye that knows. This is the eye that knows everything that really happened. But Sarah, if we are looking at her as the Fool, she doesn't want to know. So maybe she had a feeling, but she didn't want to know. So she didn't know. So she just didn't want to know the truth. And then we get the Page of Swords. And the Page of Swords is the person that knows how to speak and how to explain things. And this is how she would explain things to herself, how she would reason to herself why she's still with Andrew, despite everything that in her heart, she knows that he has done, but she didn't want to see. But she's reasoning those things to herself because by using the abilities of the Page of Swords, the slicked tongue of the Page of Swords, the abilities of him to think and to logically explain things. So she's using this in order to explain to herself why she's still there, why she still supports him, why she still believes him. But this is even a person that is able to lie to himself. So in a way, she is lying to herself. Why am I saying that? Because the last card is the 10 of Wands, which is an overload. So it seems like it's getting too much for her. As you can see, we have here 10. Let me see how this is called. This plant, it's a cactus, yeah. So we see here 10 cactuses, which are very stingy, and it's very hard to carry those, and it's very painful. So it's not only difficult and heavy, it's also painful. And you can see the heart here. The heart is a common denominator in all of the cards, and it's not only painful physically, but it's also emotionally painful. And it shows that it's very, very hard for her. It's getting almost unbearable for her. And I wouldn't be surprised if we do learn that when Andrew will have to leave the Royal Lodge, she won't go with him to wherever he goes, but she will move to that apartment in London. So, in a way, she knew, but she didn't want to know. She found all sorts of reasons why she could explain it to herself. She reasoned it with herself, but it's getting too much for her to explain it to herself, to bear it, because she does know that deep in her heart, she does know that something happened there. She doesn't know all of the details, but she knows that something wasn't kosher. Okay, so the next question is in regard to Sleazy E and her connection with him, and did she know what Sleazy E was doing when she accepted the money from him? Did she know that what he was doing? Okay, so let's clear the deck once again. And let's start asking. So please align the cards to answer correctly to my question in regard to whether or not Sarah Ferguson knew about Sleazy E's activities, and if she did know, how did she feel about it? And if she didn't know, how did she explain to herself things? How did she explain to herself his behavior and things, the women that were around him? If she did know, how did she explain to herself the fact that she took money from him? So please align the cards in the right way to answer my question about Sarah Ferguson knowledge about Sleazy E's activities. Okay, once again, cutting once and taking 3 cards. Let's start over. Okay, so we're getting the 8 of Pentacles, the 8 of Swords, and the 5 of Wands. Interesting. Okay, so the 8 of Pentacles, it's a card that speaks about working hard and not getting paid a lot. So this is a card of a person who is not in a very good financial situation. But as you can see here, let me see how this bird is called. So this is the peacock. Sorry, I don't know how I couldn't remember the name. And it's standing on the pomegranate. And both of them are symbols of opulence, of abundance. So there are a lot of symbols of abundance in this card. So although this is a card that its psychological explanation is working hard and not getting paid a lot, being an apprentice, not being, but being very diligent. This card is giving the air of richness, of abundance, and I think that this is how Sarah saw Sleazy E. She saw how rich he was. His money did blind her in a way, and it's not and this is why the next card is the 8 of Swords, because the 8 of Swords is the woman whose eyes are shut But here you can see she has a third eye. This is a woman who is in shackles, but these are emotional shackles. In the Eight of Swords, this is a woman whose eyes are closed, but she's able to open her eyes. In this card, we see that although her eyes are shut, she does have a third eye. So she did know, she knew exactly what he was doing. She knew exactly everything that he did, because it was a lot easier for her, a lot more convenient for her to close her eyes, not to look, not to know, but her her third eye did know. Her intuition did know, so she knew exactly what he was doing. But she was attracted to his money. She wanted his money, so that's why she didn't say anything. But both of these cards are both eights. Both of them are getting close to the end of the way, and both of them are showing us that it's very easy to make a mistake. If she makes a mistake in this card, she will end up in the Nine of Swords, and the Nine of Swords is a very big mistake. So and if she doesn't make a mistake, she might end up in the Nine of Pentacles. So both of these cards are showing that she was in between the looking at his money and being attracted to his money, but on the other hand realizing what he was doing and the need to shut her mouth and shut her eyes and not say anything and not do anything. So being shackled emotionally, being shackled in a way that you cannot speak. And as you know, swords are air energy, so it is about talking, about communication. So not being unable to communicate and being shackled, being unable to get freed from this. And then we get the Five of Wands. And the Five of Wands is a card that speaks about being able to get that victory that she wants if she is asking for the right kind of help, which is non-conventional help. Now, just see the one thing that is in common in both of these cards, and that's the infinity symbol. We have it in both of these cards, and it is a common denominator in both of these cards. And here we have once again the snake that is coming to bite, the same snake that was up here in the Two of Cups, if you remember it. And we have the apple that looks very much like the heart. And this card is once again showing us the big danger that Sleazy E posed and why she was afraid of him. And this infinity symbol, I think, is here to tell us that she was very much afraid that he has this infinite power, that she will have no way of opposing him. And once she received his money, she is in his pocket, that she is unable to say anything or to oppose him in any way. So these two cards are the infinitive. The infinite symbol is just so well. It's crying to me. It's so the fact that it appears in both of these cards is it's saying something. So this card is telling her that she should have asked for the right kind of help if she wanted to get freed from those shackles, because she knew what he was doing. So the next question is, did she know about what Tramiel Crow was doing? So let's see if did she, because it seems like she has this tendency to get involved with these kind of men. So did she have an idea about what he was doing, or is it is it a bad joke that the universe is playing on her? Okay, so let's start with clearing the deck. So please align the cards in the right way to answer my question about whether or not Fergie knew about Tramiel Crow interest in young girls and his involvement in financing special activities. Please align in the right way to answer my question about Tramiel Crow and him financing all kinds of special activities. So we have the Sun, which is the Father card. So I think that she saw in Tramiel Crow a father figure. We have the Tower, and then we have the World card. So that's three major arcanas. And the Tower card is a card that speaks about very, very shaky foundations. The Tower card, the World card, shows us a woman, or a woman that is very exhibitionist, that wants the world to look at her. She wants the world to see her, very much like Sarah wants to be seen, to be on the world stage, wants to be famous, wants to be seen by everyone. She is, as I said before, a kind of a twin of Meghan, but not as bad as Meghan. But let's say that her first attraction to him was that he was a father figure, but she did know about his special activities. And because the Tower card is here as a warning card, and that was her warning. As you can see here, we have two children here, so that is telling us that she did know. This is not the Tower card did not come here by mistake. And the World card also came here to tell us that it came out, it came public, and this was a problem to her, and she didn't know how to handle that. She had to find a way of saying, I only met him once, I didn't even know him, but she probably had a better relationship with him than she wants to tell us. And the Tower card is here to tell us that she knew more than she wants us to know. So my last question is going to be if she did have some kind of virtue signaling in her YouTube channel to men like those men, or is her YouTube channel completely naive and has no connection to those activities? Let's start by clearing the deck. So please align the cards in the right way to answer my question regarding Sarah Ferguson and her YouTube channel? Did she use that YouTube channel to signal men like Sleazy E and his kind of men? Did she use that channel to signal men like Sleazy E and his kind? So let's see what we get. So the first card is Judgment, and the second one is the Ace of Pentacles, and the third one is the Chariot. So I would say that I don't think so. Judgment card is a card of change. It is a card of major change, and I think that that was the time when she tried to change things about herself. She tried to change her own narrative, the way that she, her behavior, the way that she behaves towards money, towards everything. And it was mainly about making money, about finding a way to earn money. And then that was the time when she found her literary gift and her ability to write, and that was also part of her going towards fulfilling her dreams. So it was all about her. It was not about virtue singling anyone. It was not about other people. It was about her wishes, her ideas, her dreams, and about her getting her needs met in the material world. So it was about finding a way to earn money, to finding a way to get what she needs, and finding a way to change things about herself, finding a way to fulfill her dreams. That is what it was all about. It has nothing to do with virtue signaling anyone. So just one bonus reading, and I will try to see who leaked the information about Trammell Crow. And what I'll do is I'll take one card for each of the suspects, and we'll see which is the strongest card. So let's just shuffle once more. You know what? I'm going to take all of the cards and I will shuffle the deck again. So I'll have the ability to have all the cards. And then I will take one card for each of the usual suspects, and we'll see which of the cards is the strongest card. And then I will also explain to you about how we determine which are stronger and which are weaker cards. Okay. So let's start by clearing the deck again. Okay, so who leaked the information about Sarah Ferguson relationship with Trammell Crow? Who leaked the information about Sarah Ferguson's relationship with Trammell Crow? Okay, so let's cut the deck. And okay, so the first card is going to be for Harry and Meghan. Then one card for King Charles. One card for Queen Camilla. One card for Prince William. Well, Prince William and Princess Catherine that is together. So who had it in him to harm her? So for Harry and Meghan, we get the Two of Swords. For King Charles, we're getting the Nine of Swords. For Queen Camilla, we're getting the Queen of Swords. And for William, we're getting the Four of Cups. So most definitely it was the King of Charles. When we have a selection of the quote card is the least one, the least strong one, the weakest one, because it is first of all, a Queen of Swords is a queen that is mostly thinking about the good of everyone and about social things, and she's not someone that cares about people, and she won't be the one that would even care about doing things like that. And then we get the Four of Cups, the Nine of Swords, and the Two of Swords. So out of all of these, who is the one that is suffering the most because of Fergie? So it is down to Harry and Meghan and King Charles. Now for Harry, so now this is not a very easy choice. Don't think that it is, because we have here the Four of Cups, which is the card of doubts. So Prince William and Catherine were doubting Fergie, but that is but this is an emotional card, and these are people that are not people that will be vengeful enough to do something like this. So this is not strong enough. And then we're getting the king and Harry and Meghan, and we're getting the to choose between. It's funny because for the Nine of Swords, we're getting a card with a sun, with a sun on it, and the Nine of Swords is a very dark card. It's a card of worry, and usually we don't get a sun on the Nine of Swords, and the sun is a symbol of the father. So the Nine of Swords is a person that is very much worried, very much afraid, very much scared of what might happen. And then we have the Two of Swords, which are people that are not seeing reality as it is, and because of that, they cannot cope with reality and make mistakes. So out of both of them, the 9 is a stronger number, and because it is connected to the king, because we do have a sun here, and the king is the sun. This is the strongest card, and I think that the King Charles was the one who leaked it to the media. Okay, so just one card from the oracle, although this was too long as it is. So let's just see what kind of message can we give Sarah about her friends that are not friends to keep. So let's clear the deck. So shed a light on Fergie's attraction to unique men. Fergie's attraction to unique men. And the card that I'm getting is Break the Chain, Ancestral Pattern, Healing, rewriting the future. So I don't even need to look at the book. I think that it's kind of obvious. In my opinion, according to the tarot, Fergie probably had ancestral pattern as a child, and she has to break the chain. She needs to heal from whatever she had as a child from her father, and then she will be able to rewrite the future. But her attraction to those men is coming from her relationship with her father, in my opinion. Okay, so this is it for this reading, and I hope you liked it. And if you did, please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, leave me a comment, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.